Yeah. So, I started and it works.
Your computer is doing that weird thing.
October to college student. I'm connected to my hotspot. So.
Okay. Now it's fine now. Yeah, it's a little better.
Okay. Because this is like my last resort. So if this doesn't work, I don't know what else. I have horrible internet is what she's saying because it's just awful. But hopefully this will work. So I joined in 2014 and I was super broke and I just needed extra money for gas. So I got started with It Works. I had no idea what I was doing. I found It Works on Instagram. I saw a girl talking about the wraps and she was posting before and after pictures and I was like, there's no way that that stuff really works. But I was like, dude, if it does work, like I want to know what my results would be like. And so I ordered the wraps as a customer, even though I didn't have the money to do it. And used the wraps, got really, really good results. And then I started using like other products and I was looking on this girl's Instagram that sold me the products and I was like, it said Emerald It Works distributor. And so I was like, being the red personality that I am, I was like Googling, I was like, It Works Emerald distributor pay. And then it said that she was making what I was making as a full-time nanny, like nannying 3 kids, 40 hours a week. And she was making that from her phone while she was in college. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I love my job, but if I could do that, like even do both and make double the income, like that would be so cool. So I was like, what is this? Like, I want to do it. And I didn't know that I could do this business. Like, I didn't know that I was like allowed to. Like, I thought that this was just like something that she did. And so she told me about it and I was like, yes, I definitely want to do that. So I jumped in and I had just started school. I'm originally from Mississippi, but I just moved up to Michigan. So I didn't know anybody here. I didn't even have coworkers. I was a nanny. So, I had so many excuses, so many reasons to not do this business, but that's like kind of why I wanted to. Like, I didn't want to be busy all the time. I didn't want to have no money all the time. And so I joined the business and went executive at the end of December of that year. And then I went Ruby 2 months later in February. And then I sat at Ruby for a year. So during that year, it wasn't because I wasn't working. It wasn't because I wasn't doing anything. I just didn't have anyone that I had signed up that really wanted this as badly as I did. And so I just kept working really hard. And on my own, I was able to earn a spot on the cruise to Mexico.
Can you just repeat that last sentence again? Because I think that is like so important. The one when you were like, it wasn't because I wasn't doing anything. I just didn't find anybody that wanted it as bad as me, because I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. And, it's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this just doesn't work for me then. I just can't find the right people. So then people are like, oh, this just doesn't work for me. Instead of just being like, they're gonna come. We just have to keep working. Okay. So I just had to point that out.
Yeah. So I got to the cruise by myself because you had to like earn points and stuff. And it was the first ever cruise and I was so excited. And the cruise was in December, I think. But around like October and November, I almost quit. I almost stopped doing this just because I felt like I wasn't promoting fast enough. And anytime that you tell yourself, like, I'm not promoting fast enough or I'm not doing this quick enough, that statement comes from comparison. Like, if you literally were in a room by yourself, how would you know that you're not promoting fast enough? You have nothing to compare it to. What's fast enough? Like, what does that even mean? So if you're paying attention to other people, you're going to start saying, I'm not promoting fast enough. I'm not signing enough customers. What's enough? Like, that's relative. What does that even mean? So I was comparing myself. I was comparing myself to other people. And I thought I was ready to quit. But I was like, dude, I've never been to Mexico. I've never been on a cruise. So I'm not about to give this up. So I'm about to go on this cruise to Mexico, but I can't quit and then go on this cruise. So I'm about to just not quit. So I literally didn't quit because of the cruise and went on the cruise, got so inspired, got so excited. Like, it wasn't even like conference. Like, there wasn't even like panels and people speaking and like just being around people that had the same mindset and seeing all these ambassador diamonds in person for the first time was literally like I was like on a movie set. You know, it was like me seeing these like rock star, like movie stars, like for the first time. I was like, they look so much like I do, you know, like if they can do this, I can do this. And so I left with such a fire and like so many new tips, so many like just aha moments. And I left and I was excited. And so I ended up not quitting, obviously, and I went from Ruby to Emerald and Emerald to Diamond in the same day, 2 months later, promoted and got $22,000 in bonuses. I had 2 jobs now at the time because I quit school. Well, I didn't quit school, is a long story. But anyway, I wasn't going to school anymore. I ended up having 2 jobs, and I quit both of those jobs because I promoted to Diamond and earned $22,000 in bonuses. Then I sat at Diamond for a year because apparently that's just what I like to do. So I was not that great of a leader whenever I was a Diamond, and not saying that I'm a good leader now, but I've definitely grown a lot as a leader, and I bet that if y'all—
She's a good leader. She's a good leader. Don't let her fool you.
Thank you. Well, I'm just not saying that I'm amazing now and I sucked back then. I'm just saying I'm definitely better and I've come a lot further. So a lot of y'all can relate to that too. If you've been in this business for like even 5 months, you're like, dude, I'm way better of a leader than I was 5 months ago. So I just was not a very good leader, and I was very, very selfish. And I think that I sat at Diamond for a while because I was content. And instead of looking at my team and saying, you know, what do you want? Like, let's get to where you want to be. I was like, I'm good here, so I'm just assuming that you're good there too. And then looking at all these 400 boxes on my chart, I looked at them as 400 boxes instead of where they truly wanted to be, which was Ruby or Diamond. And I just stopped putting the work in that it took to really, really help them get to where they wanted to be, because I was already where I thought I wanted to be. So I sat at Diamond for a year, and I got on the cruise again, and got inspired again. Sorry, my throat's like really dry. Got inspired again, and then I went to my very first conference this last year in 2017, and it really did change everything. I know you keep hearing people say that, and you're like, shut up, whatever, like you get paid to say that. Like, we don't. Like, it's so true. And I never knew what they meant by that until I went. But for the first time ever, whenever I left conference, I truly believed for the first time that I really could be something more than just a diamond. Not just a diamond, but like I thought that's all that there was for me, and I could go so much further. And I believed that when I left conference. And so I was super thankful for conference and finally just believed that I could do that. And so I worked my tail off. Like, I seriously worked so hard the next month. I don't know. It's like, is it still freezing?
No, it was just funny because you were like, like it was literally like slow-mo. Okay, go ahead.
Oh gosh. Okay. It's because I just opened my mouth really big when I talk. Okay, so but yeah, what was I saying?
Just after conference, you just worked really hard.
So, but I literally wasn't close to double. Like, not even close. Like, I had been blocked in a couple times, but for me to actually go double diamond, like, it wasn't strong. I had to rebuild a couple places, and I was not close. Like, it wasn't like I left and I was like, oh, I believe I can do it because I'm like 2 people away and I've got the volume. It wasn't going to be a really far stretch for me to hit that promotion, but I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, Mark said I can do this. I'm going to do this. And so, I left and I had a fire and I was so excited. I had 2 people at conference with me last year, and those 2 people sitting on either side of me, they were excited with me, and we just started running, and everybody that wasn't at conference like just fed off of our excitement, and I ended up promoting to double in March of last year. And I was like, forget sitting at a rank for a year. Like, I'm so done with that. Like, I don't want to sit at a rank for a year again. And so I worked really, really hard, and I took every single person that was truly working on my team, even if they weren't the emerald. You know, I didn't make the emerald the diamond just automatically because they were the emerald. But hey, do another food too. Sorry. So I didn't make the emerald the diamond just because she was an emerald. I took the ruby because she was the one working, and I made her the diamond. And so I did that for every single leg, and everybody that I needed to go diamond for me to go triple was a ruby, right? So they went from like 400 box / executive in February to ruby in March to diamond in May. And that's when I promoted to triple. And so it was crazy. Like, I mean, and if you think about it too, like to maintain diamond, you have 10,000 in volume. To maintain triple, you have 50,000 in volume. That's how much changed in 4 months, like just after conference. Thank you. So, anyway, so it was super exciting. And, that's basically my story. And obviously it works has done a whole lot for me, but the biggest thing is just the biggest thing for me is just like the friendships and the freedom of time, because I've been able to quit my jobs. My boyfriend's quit his jobs now. And it's just been such a blessing to be able to pay off debt. I paid off credit cards last year. I'm paying off my car this year. And I've only had it for 3 months. So it's crazy how you're able to do that stuff at such a young age or at any age because of this business.
Yeah, I love that. I love your story. Like, it's so crazy the things that you like. It's like, you know, you go from like barely maintaining diamond to like freaking rocking out triple. And it's like, what just happened? But I remember, I don't know who said it, but the only thing you regret during momentum is wishing you would have worked harder. And like, I literally always think that like like even right now I'm feeling so much momentum, and there's nights I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, but I'm like, I don't even care. Like, because I'm not going to regret like not working hard enough. Okay. So you're a rock star at like enrolling. Can you tell us, like what your average is, just so people can get a feel for, and I know you hate this question, but I just like to make you feel awkward. Can you tell us like what your average is in enrolling customers and where you are, or just tell us how many you've enrolled this month, customers and distributors?
Okay, hang on. So average, distributors really depends. Probably like 7 to 10 maybe distributors a month. And then customers usually like 30 to 50, which is kind of a big range, but 30 would be like, I didn't really work very hard this month, and 50 would be like, okay, cool, like that's pretty normal. But 62 or 68 or something like that, that's like the most I've ever signed in a month. And there's people that have done a lot more than that, but that's pretty typical. Let's see. So far this month, I am really, really focused so much on distributors to finish filling up my presidential chart. I signed 26 customers so far, and I have like 4 signing up tonight. And then I've signed, oh, hang on. I can figure out how many DTs. 1 second. I have 2 signing up tonight, actually, still. But distributors, 16 DTs so far this month, and then 2 more tonight, so 18.
Literal rock star. Okay, so can you walk us through, like, it was so funny the other day when we were chatting, you were like, yeah, it's weird. Like, normally I just sign people up like that day that I talked to them. And I'm like, what, how? And so can you kind of walk people through that conversation of what it looks like how your messaging looks, just like how that happens is really why we're on here. It's just like, people are probably like, oh my gosh, I can't relate to that. But like you talked about at the beginning, you just work really hard. And so, you know, you're talking to people all day. But what does that look like for you? Like, how do you initiate the message? Are you messaging for DTs? Are you messaging for loyals? And one of the things that I really love about you is that you don't talk about what's not happening. You only talk about what is happening. Like, you don't focus on, oh, like, gosh, I've only signed, so, there's some like annoying people out there like, I've only signed like 4 DTs this month. And like some of the people are scraping to sign 4 DTs. And so like, just to focus on what is going right. And I think you do that really well, which is why I think you attract so many more people, is because you're focusing on what's going right. So, what do you feel like you do differently than most people, and why you sign more than most people?
Yeah. And just to talk about really quick, what you said at the end is like, I always talk about what is happening. Like, one of my best friends is in this business too, and I actually met her through this business. And she was like, just talking about like all this stuff, and I was like, dude, my team is on fire. Like, we're so excited. And like, it was like a couple months ago, and she was like, how is your team always on fire? Like, how is your team ever not struggling? I was like, no, we do. I don't pay attention to that. Like, I'm focused on the people, like the one person who's on fire, and I'm like, my whole team's on fire. Like, I'm not focused on the people that don't care about this, because there's always going to be that, but I'm shifting my focus. And so that makes me always excited, because I'm focused on the 1 or the 20 or the 100 people on my team that want this, however many it is. And I'm like, dude, this is like crazy momentum. Like, we're going. So that's why I'm always like focused on that. So, so a typical conversation, I usually message for customers, like products, which is opposite of what a lot of people do, but that's what works for me. So I think that's just like to go and find what works for you. But for me, I usually message for products, and I'll just say something like, hey, I came across your page. I've been following you for a little bit. And then I'll give them a genuine compliment. So like, I think you're really pretty, or I have a golden retriever too. So we really connected, or, I love your sorority pictures, or whatever it is. And I'll say, I think you'd be a great product model, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in trying one or some of our products, and you'd get my huge discount for helping me out. And then they're always like, okay, cool. Like, what is it? And sometimes I'll get messages back, and they're like, I am so honored to have been chosen. And I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, what? Like, they're like, you're saying it in a way that they're like, oh, thank you, and like, you want to make people feel good like that, right? So you don't want to be like, buy products for me, right? Like, you're like, I think that you're so pretty. Like, would you please be a product model for me? I think that you'd be so like great at this, and you would love it. And the biggest thing to remember too, because I've had people on my team be like, well, I don't want to message people for products because I don't want to spam them. And like, I don't want to, when you do that, you're so focused on yourself. Like, I don't want to spam people because I don't want them to feel like I'm bugging them. Focus on them. You're offering them products that literally change their lives. You've seen these before and after pictures. You know how you feel after drinking the greens consistently for a month, and then you stop taking them. You notice the difference. You know that you love the keto coffee and the way that it tastes. So why don't you take that, and instead of being like, I hope that it'll bug this person, be like, I'm offering this person the most amazing products in the whole entire world, and I would be selfish not to share it. Do you see the difference? Like, now you're excited, and you're like, I'm about to go message everybody on my whole entire inbox, so like everybody on my followers. Like, that is why I always message people, and I don't feel bad about it. I'd feel bad to not message them, and I'd be selfish not to share that with them. So anyway, that's how you start messaging, is you realize that you're offering this awesome thing, and so then you want to. And then you message them and you say something like that. There's no magical message that works. You just ask them. The power's in the ask. If you're not asking people, that's why you're not signing people. It's not because you're not saying anything magical. It's because you're not saying anything at all. So you have to message people. And then whenever you do, and they are like, oh yeah, like, that sounds awesome. What I always say is, okay, cool. So they're all natural It Works products. And we have, I'll list a couple of like our best selling products, or, if I'm really going for a promotion, especially, I'll mention our packs that we have. I can always upsell from the greens to a pack though. So I'm not really worried about that, but, talk about the fit packs, talk about, the keto coffee, talk about the greens and cleanse detox, like, bundle, talk about those things so that they're automatically thinking of more than one product. So you'll just tell them about a couple different products and give them like literally a few words about what that product is. So like, HSN, it's our hair, nail, and lash booster, and it's our top seller, comma, our cleanse detox, comma, greens, whatever. So you'll just say a little bit about it, and then at the end, I always say, and I got this tip from Sherry Lynn actually like last week, and it's really helped. She says at the end, she's like, or the wraps, or I actually have one work from phone spot available for someone who wants to use the products and make money at the same time. So then they'll either say, oh, I'm interested in the hair, skin, nails, or oh, I'm interested in the greens, or oh, I'm interested in the wraps, or I'm interested in the wraps and I'm interested in the business. Would you keep talking about the wraps? No, you're going to talk about the business, because they get wraps for free whenever they join. So you're going to talk about the business, that they say something about that, and then mention that they can order that, or chances are they're going to get it for free in their kit right now, because we literally give them like all the products for free. So I'll talk to them about the business or the product, and just for the sake of the product, like talking about getting customers, let's say that they're like, oh, I really want the hair, skin, and nails. I have a little thing typed up because I just say the same things. I wrote it and it sounds like me. So this isn't a script. This is just what I always say to people. So if somebody's like, you know, oh, I want the hair, skin, and nails. I'm like, great. Like, I love the hair, skin, and nails. They seriously help me so much. I'll give them a little, like, half a sentence about my testimony about why I love hair, skin, and nails. And then I'll say the price. I don't do the price in the original message because I don't want them to just pick the cheapest thing. I want them to pick what they really want. Instead of fat fighters for $25, they need the fit pack, and if they knew that they didn't know the prices, that's what they would really choose. So I'll tell them about the product, and then I'll always send a before and after picture. I always try to make it my personal before and after picture, but if I don't have one for that product yet, then I'll send it a different before and after picture. That is so huge. If you're not sending before and after pictures, you're not going to sign as many people because they can't visually see it. They're like, oh, okay, like that thought of a product sounds cool. But if you give them a concrete picture, because do y'all ever get people that are like, well, does it really work? Okay, well, if you're sending before and after pictures with it, they're not going to ask that. They're going to be like, oh, okay, how do I get that? Like, they're going to know it works. They skip that question. So then you're like, oh, you just ordered.
You pick the products like that you feel like you have the like most connection with, that you love the most, like when you're offering it. Because I feel like when we've talked about this before, like you talk about hair, skin, and nails, you have amazing hair, skin, and nail results. You talk about Confianza, you have an amazing Confianza testimony. You know, you talk about ThermoFit, you might have, you know, so I feel like, you know, it is important to pick ones that you might have your own personal before and after pictures for, because the best before and after pictures are your own. Because people are like, oh, that's you? Like, holy crap, that's you? And you're like, yes. And so that is why it's so important to be a product of a product. Because Morgan, Lord, like her freaking hair used to be up to here. And now look how long her hair is. It's crazy. And like literally, I mean, her before and after pictures made me a lot of money too before I even knew who she was. But like, I'm sure it's made her even more money. And so that's the thing, like pick something, you guys, that you have results with, because people are going to believe you when you are actually using the product. Like that'd be like going to a car dealership and you're trying to buy a Jeep, and the person that was trying to sell you the car was driving off in a Mazda. And you're like, you sell Jeeps and you're driving a Mazda. That doesn't even make sense. Okay. And so like, you must not believe in the products. And so don't be very careful about doing that. So I just want to point that out. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So shameless plug to run your auto shipment and make sure that you're using the product. So if you just joined last week, you can still do this and use my testimony, use other people's, you know, products. But after 2 months, you should be using your own hair, skin, and nails before and afters, right? So you'll get to that point. But yeah, so I'll tell them about the products, and then they're like, oh my gosh, that's so great. How do I get it? Or they'll say, what is the 90-day challenge? Because I always say the price, which is, you know, it's $55 for a men's treatment, but it's only $33 either as a loyal customer or with the 90-day challenge, however you want to word that. And then they're always like, well, what's a loyal customer? Or what is the 90-day challenge? And then I tell them what it is. And I've added in to the 90-day challenge description, because I just like use text replacement where I just type this out because I've written it myself and I just say the same thing every time and it's just easier. So I'll say the 90-day challenge is where you agree to get a product for 3 months in a row. It doesn't have to be the same thing every time. And you earn free shopping sprees. And you also get, and I added this part, you get free recipes and free meal ideas that go along with your like goals or whatever, talking about the app that we have, because they get to download that app and they get all that stuff, which makes it sound like all these things that they're getting for free. And all I have to do is still sign them up as a customer and tell them my app thing. Right. So, then I tell them, I'm like, okay, so this is the 90-day challenge. And then at the end I say, sounds good? Question mark, or sound good? Question mark. That way it's like, not like, does that make sense? And like, yeah. They're like, I say, sound good? And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, great. Can I get your number? It'll be easier than using DM. And then they send me their number. And I don't ask, are you ready to do it now? Are you ready to order now? I think a lot of people do that, and that's where you miss it. Because if your mom said, hey, do you want to clean your room now? You'd be like, no, I'll just do it later. Thanks for asking. But if she's like, hey, go clean your room, or like, hey, we're going to go clean your room, you're like, okay, I was going to clean it anyway. Sounds good. Like, I'll do it now. You just assume that they're going to do it now. And so I don't ever say, are you ready to order now? they're like, I say, does it sound good? They say, yeah, it sounds good. I say, let me get your number. So I'll text them and I'll say, this is Morgan from Insta and like, whatever, how are you? So they have something to reply back. It's not awkward. And then they're like, yeah, I'm good. How are you? I'm like, I'm great. Thank you. I'm so excited to help you order your stuff. Or your billing and shipping address is the same. So now they know we're about to do this thing and they can tell me if they're different or the same so that I know if I have to sign them up myself or if I'm going to walk them through it on my website. I'm one of those people that will just send you my website and I'll just let you do it on your own, unless your billing and shipping addresses are different. So I'm like, okay, are your billing and shipping addresses the same? And they're like, yeah, they're the same. I'm like, great, go to my website and let me know when you get there. And they're like, okay, I'm there. Like, okay, here's the instructions. And then I'll send them a screenshot of the 2 join now buttons. And I'll say, you know, click the top join now button. Your discount price should be this at the end. Let me know when you're done or if you have any questions. I'll send them a screenshot of that and I'll say, click that top green button. And then they're like, okay, great, I'm done. I'm like, cool, 10 minutes. Such an easy conversation because I didn't say, are you ready to order now? I said, great. Are your billing and shipping addresses the same? Cool. Sounds good. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do this. My website is this. Let me know when you get there. And then if at any point they can't order right now, they'll say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm so excited, but I'll actually have to wait till Friday. I'm like, great. I'm going to put you down for Friday. You'll still get my discount and I'll message you that day so we can get your order placed.
Perfect. Okay, let me just run through this again so everybody can get like a real time. Let's role play. You ready? You ready to role play? Okay, message me.
Hey, I was looking through your page and I saw that you, I don't know, have kids and they're super cute. So I just wanted to reach out to you and see if you wanted to be a product model for me. Using one or some of our products, you'll get my huge discount for helping me out. Would you be interested?
Sure. What products are they?
Okay, so they're all Naturally Works products, and we have hair, skin, and nails. It's our top seller. We have our 2-day herbal cleanse. We have our wraps that tighten, tone, and firm, and we have our keto coffee. It's a fat-burning coffee.
Definitely the coffee and the hair, skin, and nails.
Okay, and then I'll send a description, and I'll just say something like our hair, skin, and nails makes your hair longer, stronger, and healthier. And then it's $55 for a month's treatment, $33 if you do the 90-day challenge. And then the keto coffee, I'll send that to you and just say, you know, it's got collagen in it and it has grass-fed butter and it really helps you to burn extra fat and it helps you to stay full longer and it helps with focus. This is the price of that, loyal customer price, or retail price, loyal customer price. And then I'll send a picture of hair, skin, and nails, like my before and afters. And then it says that too. It's like, these are my personal 90-day challenge before and afters. And then I'll just send a picture of the keto coffee so they can just at least see it. I don't have before and afters of that. There are those though, but I'll send a picture of the keto coffee packet, like a really cute, bright picture. And then, okay, so that's what I sent you.
Okay. Okay, great. What's the 90-day challenge and how can I do it?
Okay, so you just order through my website. It's super simple. And the 90-day challenge is where you're going to get a product for 3 consecutive months, and you get to pick your product each month, so it doesn't have to be the same every time. You'll get free shopping sprees. You'll earn free products, and you're also going to have access to meal plans and like different exercises for the day. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, great. Can I get your number? It'll be easier than using DM.
Yep. Okay, so now we're on your number. Okay.
So, hey, Kelsey, it's Morgan from Insta. How are you?
Hey, girl. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, too. Thank you. So I'm so excited to help you order your hair, skin, and nails and your keto coffee. By the way, I don't say, did you want to order both? I said, I'm excited to help you order both. So I don't ask, like, did you just want to start with just one of those?
Good plug. See, that's why we role play. Good plug. Okay.
So I say, I'm so excited to help you order your hair, skin, nails, and your keto coffee, or your billing and shipping address is the same.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Go to startmyadventurenow.com and let me know when you get there.
Okay, now let me ask you this question because this is what I'm thinking of. Now, let's say they're different and you're enrolling them. Do you tell them the total before you submit it?
No.
Okay.
I personally don't.
And then do you tell them after?
No.
You're just like, do you tell them their login?
Yeah. So, okay. So let's say she's like, no, my billing and shipping addresses are different. I'll say, great. Unless you have PayPal, I can just go ahead and like do your order for you. I just need the info on the highlighted portion of the order form. I send them a screenshot of the order form so that they can see like, this is legit. I'm not just being like some random creepo on Instagram asking for their card number. This is legit. They see it works on the bottom of the thing. They see the card number and they're giving me that information. And so then I'll say, and then I always send a voice message. If I'm going to have to place the order for them, I want them to hear my voice so that they know that I'm for real. So I'll say like, okay, great. So I'm just going to have to place the order for you, but that's no big deal. I don't mind at all. I have my computer out right now. So if you want to just go ahead and send me the info on the highlighted portion of the order form, I'll send you a picture of that now so you can see what it looks like. And as soon as I get your info, I'll do it. And then I'll delete your info off of my phone. And then I'll send that and I'll send them the picture. And then they're like, okay, great. They'll send me all the info. And then I'll go in and I'll place their order in my eSuite. And sometimes I'll be like, well, what's the total? And then I'll tell them. Or if they're like, well, what's the shipping or how fast will it ship to me? A lot of people ask that. And I'll say, well, I usually just do the cheapest shipping for all my customers, but it's your choice. Like if you want to do a faster shipping, they're like, no, the cheapest is fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's like $4. And they're like, okay, cool. So then I'll just keep going through. They know that it's probably going to cost shipping. And sometimes it doesn't even charge tax. And if it does, it's like $2. So I don't really ever say anything unless they ask me, just because I don't ever think about it, honestly. And then I'll place their order. And at the end, if you're on your eSuite, it'll say enrollment complete, username this, password this. And I screenshot that and I'm like, your order's done. Yay. And then I have like this new LC thing that I do. Like, I'm so excited for you. I'll text you in a couple of days to check in. I'm so excited for your order. Thank you for letting me be your rep. Whatever. Have a great day. And so then I'll send them that picture and then I'll delete all their info.
Love it. Okay. I think there's a lot of aha moments because everybody's like, I feel like I overcomplicate this. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I think everybody does to some extent. It's like we're making this huge deal about it when it's really not a big deal. We're just helping people place orders. Like, imagine if we had individual helpers at Target. Like, that would be amazing. Can somebody just help me grocery shop or whatever? That'd be cool. So doing that. Okay. So I love the highlighted portion of the order form. Okay. So you sign Heli customers a month, right? How do you keep track of it? And I love that you're super simple. So I just want you to share like how simple your like system is and how you do the 222 thing.
So let's say I have a girl, Sandy, ordering right now. And let's say, so Sandy, I get an email. Sandy placed her order. Perfect. Okay. So before, like, I'll go in and like I'll look at it, but then I'll mark it again as unread and I'll keep it as unread until I've done what I'm about to tell you. And that's how I know that I've done this. So I'll keep it as unread. And then once I'm ready to do this with my calendar, I'll go in and I'll see, okay, Sandy Carter, perfect. So then I'll go to 2 days from now. So today's Tuesday. So Thursday, I'll write in Thursday. I'll add it to my phone calendar and it's not an app. It's literally just my phone calendar. And I'll add it and I'll say, Sandy Carter, thanks. And then I'll just do like an all day thing. So it just like gives me my notification at like 9:00 a.m. and I can do it at any point that day. And then I'll text her and I'll just say, thank you. I'll say, thank you for choosing me as your rep. I just want to be sure that you know about all the perks that you're getting. And I'll tell her a little bit about the $50 shopping spree for ordering for, 6 months. And then the $120 shopping spree, I'll tell her about the 10% back that she's getting on all the products now that she's a customer. There is zero need for them to know all of that before you sign them up. So please do not tell them all of that before you sign them up. That's just a word vomit. And they're going to be like, this is way too complicated. Never mind. Right? So you have to keep it so simple. So they don't need to know that. That does not ever determine the difference between them ordering and them not ordering. So it's never needed. Right? Okay. So then I'll tell her about all of that and then I'll have her add me on Facebook. And then I used to add her to my team page, like my team, like little customer page, but now I just add them to the What the Fit page and they can just do all that stuff for me. They're posting on there, all this good stuff. So I add them to that page and now I can add them to, side note, I can add them to my team parties that I do about becoming a distributor. Okay. Cause they're on my Facebook. So side note. So tell them thank you 2 days later. Okay, so right now, I'm going to say Sandy, Thursday. Sandy Carter, thanks. Then I'm going to go 2 weeks from now. So that's going to be around, sometimes I do a little less than 2 weeks because that would be the 6th. So probably on the 2nd, like February 2nd, I would put Sandy Carter products, ? And then I would go into 2 months. Okay, so her last order will run on March 23rd if she orders today. So on March 20th or no later than that, I would message her and say, probably around the 19th, and I'd say, Sandy Carter, 2 months. That's what I'm going to put on March 20th, whatever. So then I'm going to go in, and on 2 days, I told you I was going to say thank you. 2 weeks from now, it says products. Literally just, hey, girl, did you get your package yet? A lot of times they'll message you and they'll say, hey, I got my package. I'm so excited. And they'll send you a screenshot, right? Or like a picture of their products. So if they do that, you message them anyways on the day that it says products. And like a girl, Jerry, she signed up and she told me right away, she's like, I got my products. I'm so excited. Like, I'm going to start using them and like all this stuff. Well, today I was supposed to tell her, you know, hey, did you get your products? Well, I know that she did. So I'm going to go in and I said, hey, Jerry, how was your first week or so with your products going so far? That way they can ask questions then if they need to, or if they didn't get their products, then they're like, oh no, I didn't get it. I'm like, okay, well, let me know if you don't get it by this date, because I do check in a little bit before the 2 weeks and sometimes there's a holiday. So I'm like, if you don't get it by this date, you need to let me know because I care about you getting your products. I want to make sure they get to you on time. And so then they're like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Like, you're just taking that extra step to care about them. And then they'll check in with me usually like within that time frame. If I don't hear from them in February, which I will talk to them, I guess now that it's the end of January, I'll talk to them in February about their products, but I'm going to for sure talk to them again whenever it says Sandy 2 months. On March 19th, I'm going to look at my phone. It's going to be like, oh, Sandy, 2 months. So I'm going to go in and say, hey, I know your third order is shipping and I'm so excited for you to get your products. I know that you're loving your products. I wasn't sure if you wanted to switch anything up for the next month or if you wanted to try any new products, but if you wanted to try the keto coffee, let's say she orders hair, skin, and nails. If you wanted to try the keto coffee or the stretch mark cream or really any product that you've never tried before, I'd be willing to give you a $50 credit just for a thank you for doing another 90-day challenge with me for any of our other products. And then that's basically saying, do you want to do the total of 6 months, and you get the $50. And then usually they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds good. Like, I've been seeing you post about the keto coffee every single stinking morning. Like, that sounds good. I'd like to do that. And then I'm like, okay, great. If they say no, I'm like, that's fine. You still get the $50 cash if you keep the same product. So that's okay if you wanted to just stick with the hair, skin, and nails. I don't immediately say like, okay, let's cancel your order then. I'm like, cool, if you don't want to switch products, that's fine. You can keep the hair, skin, nails, and you'll still get the $50 discount or the $50 credit. And then sometimes I'll be like, well, I just can't afford to keep doing it. And I'll say, okay, that's fine. Do you love your products? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, let's make money for telling people about how much you love your products. And they're like, oh, so then I'll talk to them about becoming a distributor. So they either become a distributor or they do another 90-day challenge. That's it. And then if they go in and do another 90-day challenge, at the end of those 3 months, that'd be in March, so April, May, so June would be their 6th month. So I would go in and say, Sandy Carter, whatever, for 6 months, June 19th. And so on June 19th, I would look at that and be like, oh, okay. So now I'm going to talk to her about becoming a distributor because she's already been using these products for 6 months, or tell her that she's about to get another $150 shopping spree for using them for 6 more months. And tell her about all these different benefits. So that's what I do.
I freaking love it. I just love it. I think you're just like a freaking genius when it comes to this stuff. It's like so good. Okay. So my question is let's say, you have a customer, or let's say you're talking to somebody about being a customer and you think that they would be like a really good distributor. Do you mention it? Like, do you mention it before they enroll? Like, I mean, I know now you have that message, but let's say they didn't say anything about it, but you're like, dang, this girl would be like so freaking good. She has like 8,000 followers on Instagram. You know, how do you bring that up at this point? Because I know you're focused on DT.
So something that Stephanie Dunn said was that she always, like anytime she's signing up a customer, before she places the order, she always gets their information. So she'll get their information before she places the order. And she's like, all right, so now that I have all of your information, I just wanted to ask, would you ever want to do this business instead? because you're going to be able to get the same discount. You get the wholesale pricing on the products and you'd be able to make extra money. And then if they're getting the wraps, she'd be like, for $40 more, you could literally get the wraps at the wholesale price still. And you'd be able to tell all your friends about it and make extra money. And if you didn't want to do anything with the business, you could at least get your wholesale discount as a distributor, and you can make money if you ever decided that you wanted to work it. And she just always offers it every single time before a customer signs up. And the worst thing they could do is say, nope, I'll just be a customer. Like, you cannot lose by asking at least. Because they're either going to be a distributor or a customer. Like, you've already got their information. They can only say no to becoming a distributor, and then they can say yes. So.
Yep. Okay. So now that you're focused on distributors, like, do you do any messaging for distributors at this point? Or are you still just mostly messaging for customers and then kind of?
I still just message for customers.
Okay.
So all my distributors usually, like all my potentials usually just come to me because of my posts. I always tell them to text a word to me if they're interested, to comment an emoji below if they're interested, and that really helps, because I did one the other day and it said like text opportunity to my number, and that really doesn't, like, I don't ever get like a ton of people. I had 3 people message me in 10 minutes from that post, and they were all interested. One of them had been talking to one of my distributors on my team, so I kindly just told her to go back to that girl, but because she didn't really understand that she couldn't come to me too. But anyway, so yeah, but like 3 people messaged me from that post. So and then the other thing that I do to sign distributors that I've signed a lot of distributors from, and that I've signed a lot of people who were gonna be customers from, is my Insta stories. Because people that are like on my list, like this girl was gonna order on Friday. She was like, by the way, I know I'm not order on Friday, but like, what is this business? Like, I also want to hear about that. And like a girl that I'm signing up as a distributor, she was like, we were talking about like hair, skin, nails, and keto coffee, I think. And she was like, yeah, so I want to do that, but also, can you tell me a little bit more about this business? And so I told her about it, and she was like, okay, let's do it. So like she wanted to be a distributor instead, because she has been seeing all my posts. Like right now I'm only posting for distributors, which I need to start posting for customers, because that's going to come to bite me in the butt next month whenever I'm trying to get all this volume for presidential, and they're like, I'll just be a distributor. I'm like, no, be a customer, please, be a customer.
Right. I know the struggle's so real. Okay. So when you do get people on the phone before you sign them, like as distributors, so let's say they're interested, do you just voice message for them, like them about the business? Like, what's kind of like your process when you're explaining the business to people?
I can just use this text. So I said, hey, Lacey, it's Morgan from Insta. How are you? Same thing. She said, I'm good. How are you? I said, I'm good too. Thank you. And then I have this message that I send if they ask, like, how does it work? Or like, what would I do? I always just say something like, okay, so if you join this business, you'd be a rep and you would talk to people about the products and the business, and you can do this face-to-face or through social media, whatever. And you can help them try the products and or join your team. And when you do either of those things, you get paid. It's super simple, and you don't even have to keep inventory at your house. Everything is done through your website. And I make sure I say that because that was why I joined this business. My mom did a different business before where she had to keep inventory. And her first question whenever I was like, I'm going to do this, she was like, do you have to keep inventory? No, like, because that's such a huge risk. And I was like, broke as a joke already. So she was like, absolutely not. I was like, I don't actually know. That's a really good question. And so like, I asked the girl, like, I was like so red, like I didn't care. I was like, I can make money with this. I don't know anything about it. But anyways, so I make sure to tell them, and I say, everything's sent to your website that you get when you join, and the company takes care of the money and the shipping for you, and you get the credit for it and make money. You can work this as much or as little as you want. And then they'll say whatever back. And then, she said, like, I feel like I could be really good with the social media part, but I'm also kind of wanting to start using the products first to see if I really like them enough to try and sell them as well. What are the starting prices for everything? And I sent her a voice message, and I said, right now, it's literally cheaper to be a distributor than it is to be a customer. And she wanted to try the greens and keto coffee. I said, guess what? You get both of those for free in your kit. So why don't you just do this business because you wanted to anyways? And you get to try all the products for free, all of our best-selling products, and you're going to have your own personal results right away. And she said, yes, it does. Sign me up, girl. I said, okay, well, wait just a second. I was like, okay, so to get you started, and then I have this message that I send that explains that it's $99. And this this is super important because I have so many people on my team that will send me screenshots like, why didn't this girl, like, why did she just stop talking to me? I was like, because you made the $99 sound like it was a drag. Like, you made that sound like it was horrible.
So true. Oh my gosh.
Like, and it's just crazy. And like, I mean, there's people on this Zoom probably that do that. And like, somebody's like, well, how much is it to start? And you're like, well, it's $99, but it's okay because it's fine. Like, it's just $99. You'll make it back, and it's okay because I did it too. You should do it. And like, they're like, well, why would I want to pay $99? Like, what the heck? So I make it sound like the most amazing thing in the entire world because it honestly is. What other business can you start for $99? If you're going to start a restaurant, do you think you'll pay $99? No. Do you think you'll make your money right back from paying that $99 to start a restaurant? No. I worked at a restaurant, and it was like a brand new like restaurant, like a local place, and they had been there for 5 years, and it was so busy all the time. And I was like, dude, these people are like rolling in the dough, and they're like, they literally just make enough to pay the people that work here. Like, they have not started making profit yet. I was like, how? Like, this place has been here for like 6 or 7 years, you know, like, it's crazy. So we do have such a great opportunity, and you have to think of it that way when you tell people, and that's going to be portrayed even in a text message, how excited you are. So I just say, like, to get you started, I'd help you enroll through my website. Literally only takes like 5 minutes. You would create your website, and it's active immediately. It's $99 for that, parentheses, one-time payment. And what's so awesome is that the company ships the products for you. So the minute you get a customer through your website, you do not have to worry about shipping any products to them or buying the products beforehand. Well, with that $100, you're also going to get $200 worth of free product that you'll get. Oh, and then you'll get wraps immediately, which help tighten, tone, and firm, and then like defining gel and blah, blah. And then, of course, I'll be there to help you every step of the way and train you and work social media like I do, or however you want to work this business. And then they're like, okay, cool. Well, and then this girl said, like, do I have to keep, sell a certain amount or whatever? So just be confident in whatever you're talking about. So like, if somebody's like, this one person, she was like, so is there any monthly payments that I have to do? And I was like, you get to pay $20 a month for a website, which saves you hundreds and thousands of dollars a month, not having to keep inventory, saves you time because you don't have to go to the post office every other day, saves you time and gas money because you're not having to drive to somebody's house and drop their stuff off in a mailbox and cash a check that they wrote you for, well, a tube of lipstick. You literally make residual income because your customers are ordering products that they're going to want to use in 30 days, and the company ships it all out to you, and you pay $20 a month for that. So you don't have to, you get to pay $20 a month. And I don't always say it like that, obviously, but I'm just telling y'all so that you know how to approach people whenever they say that. Be confident about that. And then I have some people say, like, is there a $99 fee to join this business? I'm like, it's not a fee. You literally are buying your business builder kit, and that has everything that you need to start this business, and also to throw in $200 worth of product for you. So it's not a fee. You're starting a business, and if you really think about it, and this is often a tangent, but if people talk to you and they're like, well, why do I have to pay to start a business? Why do you have to pay to be a nurse? You have to buy scrubs, don't you? Right? And you have a monthly fee of gas to get to your job every single day, probably more than $20 a month, I would assume. Why do you have to pay to be a student? You have to pay books. Why do you have to pay to be a waitress? You have to get black shoes that are slip-proof. You have to pay for anything that you start. If you're going to be a soccer player, you have to pay for a ball and cleats. So same thing with this business, except that it's a little bit cheaper than all of those things. You can literally be a business owner cheaper than you can be a soccer player. I saw
so
that.
Freaking true. I love it. Just preach. You can keep preaching. I'll just listen. Okay. So I love that. What is your time frame for closing your customers typically? Like, I know, you said most of them are that same day. But what do you like? One of the things that I would assume is really important in that is the fact that you are available when they're messaging you. Right? So like, it's like, what about when you were working full time and you didn't have your phone on you? Like,
people thought I had kidney problems and bladder issues is what they thought, because I was literally going to the bathroom every 30 seconds. Like, are you okay? I'm like, yep, just promoting. It's fine. Seriously, like, and we weren't allowed to have our like phones in our aprons at work. And whenever I was a waitress, but I did anyways, obviously, rebel. But I was like, I had my phone anyways, and they were like, they would like catch me sometimes, and I was like, "What are you gonna do? Like fire me? Like, bro, I'm about to quit anyways." I didn't tell them that, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, "Go ahead, that's fine, fire me."
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But obviously, don't get fired from your job. That's not what I'm trying. That was a bad example. So I would just literally anytime that I had free time. Like, I mean, there are times where I'm like about to go to sleep. I'm like falling asleep, and somebody's like, "Okay, I'm ready to order," and I'm like, "Perfect, now is great," you know. And like, I mean, driving in the car, voice messaging, that's huge. Like, you can literally walk through somebody through that voice messaging, you know, or I mean, training new team members, like all that stuff. You can do all of that if you make the time to do it. If you're at the gym, you know, like I would put my phone away for like 20 minutes and then I'd go back and I'd check on my messages. Like it was really bad. And now I go to a gym where I am doing CrossFit. So you can't have your phone like the whole time. It's like back to back to back. Like, so for 1 hour, I don't have my phone. And so I always say like, "So sorry, I was at the gym. Anyways, let's go ahead and get your order in. I'm ready whenever you are." And then like I'll tell them, and I'm just always making myself available to them. And if I don't respond right away, I'll let them know, "I'm so sorry, I was at the gym," or like, "I'm so sorry, I was at work." Like, I am going to be reliable for you. So it's okay if you can't respond right away, but just let them know, you know, "Hey, I was busy." And like that is even really cool too. If you're like, "Sorry, I was like bathing my kids. Like I couldn't answer right away." They're like, "Dude, like she's so real. Like she's a real person and she can do this business and she has kids. I could do this business." Or like, "Sorry, I just got off of work." Like, "Oh, she works too? Okay, cool." So like she can do this business. I can do this business because I work. And like, I've thought about doing this, but I didn't think I could because I don't have that much free time. So that's even an advantage, honestly. But, I mean, always make yourself available and, make sure that you're checking your messages. Don't wait like 5 hours before you have your phone like every single day, because you're going to miss a lot of people that way.
Yeah, for sure. So percentage wise, like rough estimate, I mean, obviously I wouldn't expect you to have the numbers of like how many people do you think sign that same day? How many people do you think are like, "Follow me on Friday when I get paid"? Or how many people are like, "Check back with me next month"?
Most of them are follow back up with me when I get paid, honestly.
When that happens, like let's say it's like I don't get paid for 2 weeks. So in between that time, how are you like not letting them forget about you?
I'm always liking their stuff. So like whenever I go to their page, like I can click turn notifications on. So anytime they make a post, like I like it or I'll comment on it. I'll go to their Insta story. I'll reply to their Insta stories. That way I'm back in their DM, but they already have their number at that point though. If they've told me that they can't order, it's because I said, "Okay, go to my website and let me know when you get there." And then they're like, "Oh, I can't order right now." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And then if they say like I get paid in 2 weeks, I'm like, 2 weeks from today or 2 weeks from Friday? Like literally what day? And they're like, "Oh yeah, 2 weeks from Friday." I'm like, "Great, got you down." And like I'll sometimes message them whenever I see like I have to like go back every 2 days later. I'll message them and be like, "I hope they're having an awesome day. I can't wait to help you soon." Like, whatever. Or like hope like, or they'll tell me what they're doing. Like I'm in school, like I have finals this week and I'm like, "I hope your finals are going well. I can't wait to help you order soon. Have a great day." Or "Good luck, I'm praying for you," or whatever it is. And so I'll just like randomly, I don't really like make it an intentional thing, but anytime that I can follow up with them or message them, I do. Like I did that today with a girl and I was like, "Okay, well, I still have you down for Friday." She was like, "Good, okay, I'm excited." And then Stephanie Dunn, something that she does, she said that she always messages them a day before they're going to order. And she's like, "Are we still planning for tomorrow?" And they'll say yes.
I love that.
I don't do that, but
I love that. Okay, so with the 16 DTs that you have signed this month, what are you doing to onboard them or get them started on the right foot?
So I do like a new DT training, and it's pretty basic. Like I just have them go through what their why is, because I always want to go back to that. That way, if we haven't established that clearly yet, like that one girl, she was like, "So like, okay, let's do this." Like, I don't even know what her why is yet. We've talked about how much money she wants to make, but we haven't even had time to specifically talk about why. And so I'm going to ask her why you want this.
And you just know she's red. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't have a why either. Like, until afterwards, I was like, gas money, I guess. Like, make money. That's all I want to do. Probably for gas. Like, so I don't really like whatever. So then, I tell them that, and then I'd have them go to add me on Facebook, and then I'll add them to my team page, and then I'll have them go to their eSuite and do their tax documents since they're on commissions hold. And then signing up a distributor. So she will go and do her eSuite thing, and I'll say, let me know when you get done. I said, do you want me to tag you in 2 helpful videos now, or do you want to take it day by day? And then if they say, yeah, I want you to tag me in the videos, then I tag them in the videos on our team page. It's Jade Hooper sealing the deal, and then Tiffany Hurd's like thing that she made, like she went live during the $10 kits, and she was talking about that. So I talk about that. I said, tag them in both, and I say, I tagged you, and then let me know when you're done. But they're like, I'm done. I say, okay, great. Your first goal is to sign up 4 loyal customers. I want you to make your list, your dirt list. It's people that would buy dirt from you if you were selling it because they just love you so much. Or your the first 10 people that you would go to if you had exciting news. And then they'll write the list, and I'll say, okay, so here's what I want you to send them. And then I always tell them, I want you to screenshot me every single text message that you get back. And if I don't respond right away, then just wait for me, because I'm probably busy, but I don't want you to send any messages without me telling you what to say back first, because I know that I can seal the deal with them. Even if you feel like you can't seal the deal with people, you will probably know more than you did whenever you first joined, right? So you're still going to be able to help these people that have no clue what to say. Gosh, I word vomited on everyone whenever I first started. Like, seriously, just like, what are the greens? This text, like, it was like, sorry, I have to send this in 8 text messages because it's too long. Why? So I just like said everything so wrong. So I would just they screenshot their messages to me, and then I'll respond back for them, and they'll copy and paste what I say. And I tell them, this is just so that you can feel comfortable and see how I message people and how simple it is until you can get comfortable doing this on your own. And then so then after that, I say, okay, so I want you to make your first post, and it's going to be a teaser post. And I have them say something like, I just started this really cool, thing, and I have some exciting news to tell you. So stay tuned to my page, and I'll tell you later on today if it's earlier, or tomorrow if it's later. And then I always have them do a disclaimer if they're like engaged or married or, dating someone. I'm like, just tell them, like, just disclaimer, I'm not pregnant or I'm not engaged or whatever. And it makes it funny, and people are like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious, like whatever. So then they're watching your page, and you get so much more feedback when they actually make their first post to announce that they joined this business, and that's what it is. And then so in between, so I'm like, okay, go ahead and make that post. And then they do. And I say, okay, now we're going to message people on Instagram, because my friends and family did not order from me at first. So I don't want them to just reach out to their best friends and their family, because if that was me, I would have gotten a little bit discouraged, maybe. Probably not, because I was just like, so like, excited. But like, some people will get discouraged. They're like, someone told me no, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you're going to hear no. Like, people are going to tell you no. But I want them to hear yes. And so if people on their friends and family won't say yes like mine didn't, they can still hear yeses on Instagram. So I immediately show them how to do that. And like, they'll message the same thing pretty much. And then I'll say, screenshot me your responses. So it's a little time consuming, but if you can help these people do this, I have people right now getting their first 2 loyal customers in one day, because they're getting me to answer their stuff, and I can sign them up on the spot, especially if they're their best friends and their family members. They're already going to help them out. They're going to sign up on the spot. And so then I'll have people, 2 days into them being in the business, they're messaging me. They're like, I just got my 3rd customer. I'm like, great. Well, I wasn't even screenshotting them answers anymore. They knew how to talk to them on their own, because I took a day to just pour into them. And you still have to find time to grow your own business too. So maybe you just don't message as many people that day, but through that person, you're still signing up people, and you're still growing your volume, and you're still getting fast start qualified, so you're getting your $100 bonus, whatever it is. So take that time to really pour into them, because then you're not going to lose them. If they can get a yes, even if it's yes, I'll order this Friday, or yes, I'll order next month, that makes them excited. So you've got to help them get that right off the bat.
Seriously love that. Okay, I know we're going over time, but we're going to do like Boom, boom, boom. Question and answer. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
What do you send to people when they go MIA?
Customer, distributor, potential.
Potentials.
After I've been messaging them for a while, or just like first time, like they just don't respond back?
Both.
Okay, so sorry, this is
not quick.
So if they like just like didn't respond to me today, in 2 days I'll say, hey girl, are you still interested? If not, I'll take you off my follow-up list. I'd hate to bug you. And then they'll say yes or no. If it's somebody that I've been talking to for a while, I'll kind of be straight up and I'll just say, you know, I don't want to waste either of our time. So if you're not interested anymore, could you please just let me know so that I know one way or the other?
Okay, love it. What about people don't reply to, like, they voted on your story but they don't reply?
I just don't respond. Like, most of the time it's for business, and if you don't reply to me, like, I'll just catch you later.
Okay. What about people who have already signed up and they go MIA?
Sometimes I'll send like a funny GIF or something to be like, hello, or like something like that. Or, I mean, I do the 3 strikes you're out rule. Like, if you join my team and I try to contact you 3 different times about 3 different things and you don't respond back to me over the course of like a week or 2, bye. Like, you can come let me know when you're ready, because obviously you're not right now and I'm not wasting my time. So I'll message them. I'll probably say like, hey, we have a Zoom tonight. Are you going to get on? Or, hey, you know, did you see the last post that I made? Or, hey, I tagged you in something that's going to be helpful for you, whatever it is.
Love it. Okay. What's your 6 list?
Message, follow up, post, talk to my team, and Insta stories.
Okay. Love it. What's the biggest obstacle you've overcome in this business?
Comparing, I guess, because it's really easy to compare to other people, and you just have to realize that your story is your story, and it doesn't matter if it takes you 8 minutes, 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, or 8 years to get to the top. You're going to get there if you don't quit. So your story is not the same as someone else's, and if you compare to other people, especially in this business, you're comparing your, you know, background and like your dirt and junk and crap to their highlight reel, and that's never going to be an accurate comparison anyways. Comparison's a thief of joy, so don't ever do that.
Okay.
Don't let yourself do
that. Okay, and about how many people do you think you message a day on average?
I usually just message by time instead of people, so I message for 10 minutes 3 times a day.
Okay, love it. Okay, I'm going to close in prayer if you don't mind. Thanks for spending time with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, dear Lord, we just want to thank you for allowing us to get together tonight, and thank you for all the wisdom Morgan has poured into us. Thank you for allowing our paths to cross. We are so blessed and so grateful for the friendship that you've built between us and the instant connection that you've made. I really believe that it's turned into a lifelong friendship. We appreciate just the spirit and the soul that you've given Morgan, and just the spirit of generosity of sharing all this wisdom with us. Help each person in each ear that heard it tonight take something from it, really apply it to their business and allow it to change their business. Allow them to have the mental capacity to believe that this business can truly change their life, because this business is something that is an amazing vehicle. We just have to figure out how we can best use it in order to give you all the glory and all the praise. So again, we thank you for just being in our presence tonight, allowing us to connect and come together. And again, we do all things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Love it. Thank you so much, Morgan. Bye, guys. Thanks for hopping on.
Bye.